Namaskar, Jai Shri Krishna. Illuminating text 14 and text 15 of chapter 1, the first step in God realization of second canto, the cosmic manifestation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 14. Tavapye tarahi kauravya saptaham jivitavadhiha upakalpaya tata sarvam tavdyat samparaikam. Maharaj Parikshit, now your duration of life is limited to 7 more days. So during this time, you can perform all those rituals which are needed for the best purpose of your next life. Shukdev Goswami, after citing the example of Maharaj Khatvanga, who prepared himself for the next life within a very short time, encouraged Maharaj Parikshit by saying that since he had still 7 days at his disposal, he could easily take advantage of the time to prepare himself for the next life. Indirectly, the Goswami told Maharaj Parikshit that he should take shelter of the sound representation of the Lord for the 7 days still remaining in the duration of his life and thus get himself liberated. In other words, everyone can best prepare himself for the next life simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, as it was recited by Shukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. The rituals are not formal, but there are also some favorable conditions which are required to be carried out as instructed hereafter. Text 15. Antakale tu purush agate gata sadhvasaha chindayad sanga shastren spruham dehe anu yechatam. At the last stage of one's life, one should be bold enough not to be afraid of death, but one must cut all attachment to the material body and everything pertaining to it and all desires thereof. The foolishness of gross materialism is that people think of making a permanent settlement in this world, although it is a settled fact that one has to give up everything that has been created by valuable human energy. Great statesmen, scientists, philosophers, etc., who are foolish without any information of the spirit soul, think that this life of a few years only is all in all and that there is nothing more after death. This poor fund of knowledge, even in the so-called learned circles of the world, is kindling the vitality of human energy, and the awful result is being keenly felt. And yet the foolish materialistic men do not care about what is going to happen in the next life. The preliminary instruction in the Bhagavad Gita is that one should know that the identity of the individual living entity is not lost even after the end of this present body, which is nothing but an outward dress only. As one changes an old garment, so also the individual soul also changes his body, and this change of body is called death. Death is therefore a process of changing the body at the end of the duration of the present life. An intelligent person must be prepared for this and must try to have the best type of body in the next life. The best type of body is a spiritual body which is obtained by those who go back to the kingdom of God or enter the realm of Brahma. In the second chapter of this canto, this matter will be broadly discussed, but as far as the change of body is concerned, one must prepare now for the next life. Foolish people attach more importance to the present temporary life, and thus the foolish leaders make appeals to the body and the bodily relations. The bodily relations extend not only to this body but also to the family members, wife, children, society, country, and so many other things which end at the end of life. After death, one forgets everything about the present bodily relations. We have a little experience of this at night when we go to sleep. While sleeping, we forget everything about this body and bodily relations, although this forgetfulness is a temporary situation for only a few hours. Death is nothing but sleeping for a few months in order to develop another term of bodily engagement which we are awarded by the law of nature according to our aspiration. Therefore, one has only to change the aspiration during the course of this present body, and for this, there is need of training in the current duration of human life. The training can be begun at any stage of life or even before few seconds of death. But the usual procedure is for one to get the training from the very early life, from the stage of brahmacharya, and gradually progress to the gruhastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas orders of life. The institution which gives such training is called varnashrama dharma, or the system of sanatana dharma, the best procedure for making the human life perfect. One is therefore required to give up the family attachment or social or political life just at the age of 50 years, if not earlier, and the training in the vanaprastha and sannyas ashramas is given for preparation for the next life. Foolish materialists in the garb of leaders of the people in general stick to family affairs without attempting to cut off relations with them, and thus they become victims of nature's law and thus get gross bodies again according to their work. Such foolish leaders may have some respect from the people at the end of life, but that does not mean that such leaders will be immune to the nature's law under which everyone is tightly bound by the hands and feet. The best thing is therefore that Everyone voluntarily give up family relations by transferring the attachment from family, society, country and everything thereof to the devotional service of the Lord. It is stated herein that one should give up all desires of family attachment. One must have a chance for better desires, otherwise there is no chance of giving up such morbid desires. Desire is the concomitant factor of the living entity. The living entity is eternal and therefore his desires which are natural for a living being are also eternal. One cannot therefore stop desiring, but the subject matter for desires can be changed. So one must develop the desires for returning home back to Godhead, and automatically the desires for material gain, material honor and material prosperity, popularity will diminish in proportion to the development of devotional service. A living being is meant for service activities and his desires are centered around such service of attitude. Beginning from the top executive head down to the insignificant pauper in the street, all are rendering some sort of service to others. The perfection of such a service attitude is only attained simply by transferring the desire of service from matter to spirit or from Saturn to God. Hare Krishna.